We meet once again right here on the Coach's Corner. And I have been remiss and forgetting to ask you, how are you doing? Let me just pause right there. Just ask you, how are you? Hopefully everything is well. Today we want to talk about on our For More for Life campaign towards change, 30 days towards change, the effort therein, and then 90 days toward a change we can live with, is your interactions, from your ability to listen, to your dress, to your interactions with the crowd, and the inspiration that you may receive on the stump. My name is Marcus Sillett. Assuredly, I have issues, but I bring to the table the wisdoms, knowledge, and understanding from my own mistakes to try to help you transition and change. Welcome, welcome aboard. As we move forward in day 21, we want to talk about the stump continuously. We've had several series just within the series on the stump in and of itself. Today we want to talk about the interactions of you as a campaign official, if you will. But you know, we're taking a lot for granted here because we don't know if you've decided to run for change. And just stop right there and slow myself down to say that. We're assuming. I would like for you, if you're running for change and transition in your life, if you're running for more for life, I would like for you to go to www.sibntelevision.com. When you get there, I want you to click on the community page, which is a social network page just for our network. It's not for anyone else. It's just for those who are listeners and supporters of SIBN Television and Radio. And I'd like for you to go there, register. It's going to ask you to register with your email, and then state on the community page in a new, or you can respond to anything that's there, but share that you're running for more for life. Share it. One of the things that empowers us as we move forward is the power to share things with the right person. See, this is what we do. Before I get into my lesson for today, if you will, what we do is we are always verbal when it comes to the wrong people, and then when we finally meet somebody who is right on and helping us and pushing us, we go silent, we go dark. You know, we're not hunting for a terrorist here. You know, this is secretive, of course, but certain aspects of change won't be impactful if we are secretive. Hence why we have a campaign. Hello, a campaign for change, a campaign for more for life, you see. So I would like for you to go to www.sibntelevision.com and click again on the community, SIBN community at the top. And there it's going to ask you again to register with your email. And then please share with us your campaign aspirations, because we all want more. We all want life, but we all need help getting there. So today we're talking about the interactions, and we're not going to belabor the point because we know that when you're out on the stump, we know that you're going to give speeches, and we talked about that. We know you're going to have security, and we talked about your security detail, and we had a lot of fun with it. It's just crazy. Coach is crazy. I admit it, you know. But today we want to talk about, you know, as you interact with others on the stump. This is very, very important. Interaction from what you wear to your gestures to your campaign advisors and how you take their advice, to your ability to listen to others on the campaign trail who will be adversely or remotely affected by your campaign for more for life. You see, your listening time, your time of just brooding, if you will, over the stories of those close to you. Empathizing even with those around you. You see, as we aspire to change, we must have a balanced excitement. We can't just be excited about us. We've got to get excited about others. Wait a minute. You thought this was all about me? You thought this was all about you? You thought that your campaign for More for Life for Change is for you to get your ideas, your dreams? Yes, that's the end result. But make no mistake about it, on the stump, you have to remember others. Why? Because the campaign is for them to vote for you, to support what you're doing, to attract new relationships, new partnerships. Wait 1 second. We don't want to go back to the old days, where we lie and cheat out in public and then expect to have great relationships and results in private. We're talking about interactions today on the stump. And I want to ask you, as I'm asking myself, how are we interacting? I'm just going to pause right there and let us think about that. Because every interaction has to be centered on the principle that I need this vote. I need this vote. I need this vote of confidence. I need this vote of admiration. I need this vote of consumer participation, if you will. I need this vote for a policy that I want to enact in my life, in my neighborhood, or in my organization, or in my business, whatever the case may be. The campaign is tailored to you now, but it's not about you centrally. Its end result is going to give you a lot of things, but the campaign really is about others. So our interactions with others seems to me to be the key to how the campaign will be perceived. We got a lot of projects that are about us, and that's why they're going downhill. Self-centeredness doesn't get far. The wind underneath its wings tends to give out, because this life was not designed for me and mine. You feel even good when you listen to somebody. When we listen to our babies, we say that's cute. When we listen to our little girls and our little boys when they're crying or hurting, we say, what happened? What did they do to you? But then we stop listening. How hungry are you to win this campaign? If you are hungry to win this campaign for More for Life, this is how we want the outcome to be. We want our predictability to have been solidified. What we per se can imagine, the possibilities we have embraced, that we aspire to. But we also want the great response beyond our imagination, that which we would have never imagined as part of that end result when this campaign is over, and we start another one, and we start another one, and we start another one. But all while we're campaigning and all while we're interacting, it's for the sake of others. It's for the sake of others. Now, there are others who are masterminds at crafting lies and propaganda, and those are arts and games too to win campaigns. And of course, they may be under the title for More for Me, okay, not for More for Life, because in life, others share the glory from the story. You don't share the light alone. Oh, okay. You're feeling alone. Well, that goes to your interactions. If you're getting the same result from the same interactions, the common denominator is you. The common denominator is me. I'll say that again. If you're getting the same results, from the same interactions, you can't look at nobody else but yourself, because there's something in you that allows that relationship, whether it be business or personal or intimate, whatever, to persist. The only way to change an interaction is to generally change the common denominator, the common thread. The common thread is you. You thinking this, well, why am I attracting? Well, they don't want to listen to me. Well, they always go for, we're the common denominator in the situation. So you think about your interaction any way you want to, because it's creative. This is a creative conversation. This is a creative conceptual conversation. This is not a, one shoe fits all. So you have to be creative in your thinking and in your responding to me. And that's why you should be sharing with me, because then I can affirm that you may be on the right track, even with your own thoughts and with your own plans. And I may be able to just solidify what you've already been thinking, but some of you just don't talk. You just listen, but you don't share. You see, I don't know how you're going to make it in a campaign with that mentality that, you can leave your comments right there on Spreaker. If you're on iBroadcast TV, you can leave your comments there. If you're right here on YouTube, you can leave your comments there. Ustream viewers can leave, and listeners can leave their comments there. I mean, there's 1,000 places for you to leave your comments. And you're going to need that interaction as you move forward, because the interaction is a stimuli. It's a stimuli both ways. It's a stimulant. It's a stimulant for the aggregation of the intent of motive, and it's a stimulant also for the inspirational stew, if you will, the brewing, if you will. Often we hear presidents say, "Well, I was out on the campaign trail and they mention a story and a name." You see, and this is a strategy, but this is also required. This is required for the outcome we desire. This is required for the outcome we desire, to interact with others. And listen, others that disagree, others that don't do things our way, others that don't necessarily come from our hood, if you will, whether it be suburban or urban, which we still have that divided conversation in America. Well, in the urban schools throughout America, violence has a greater tendency. Are you kidding me? Are we still having this conversation? That's because those reporting don't have experience in interacting with urban communities and suburban communities as a balance to approaching and reporting the news, in my view. Because I'm telling you, in the suburbs, there's more killings than oh my goodness. And some folk kill in groups and other folks kill individuals. I don't know. I'm just saying. Interactions, from what you wear to how you listen to how you engage others. And we don't have enough of that in our lives, in our campaigns for change, in our businesses, in our churches, in our mosques, in our sanctuaries, in our schools. We don't have enough love or love interaction, because interaction requires love to me. But then there's some who are skilled at interacting and then having a hidden agenda too. So don't get it twisted. This is not a kumbaya moment right here. We're just talking about the fact that you've got to interact. And so that also points to the fact that perhaps you may have some challenges mentally, where you pull back from the crowd, pull back from your friends, pull back from this and pull back, and you isolate yourself. I know, because I've done it. I'm an expert at how to isolate myself. See, build your little city, and then close up. But But then all of a sudden inspiration comes when you hear a story or a song, and it makes you peek outside your normal sphere of influence in your environment, and you peek outside. You know, you entertain that, hey, well, maybe the husband that I will receive in my campaign for More for Life won't be short, stocky, and rich. Hello? Or maybe the wife that I will be blessed with will not be tall, size 4, you know, and you know, whatever else you would put in there. You see, your interactions kind of also bring you down to the reality slate and gives you what can I say? Gives you a heartfelt pulse of what's happening on the ground. See, because when we sit up in our offices and in our studios and we come up with the concepts and ideals and we put together all of the plans, we forget the folks on the ground. We you know, to balance this thing out, we need to get on the ground. On the ground. On the ground. Maybe then my problem is not as bad as I think when I'm interacting with people on the ground. Interaction. Interaction. Interaction and listen. Interaction is also the response. You know, people are going to ask you questions. People are going to tell you stories. People are going to tell you about their lives here. People are going to tell you what they want out of life. And maybe you can help them, and maybe you can't. But still, your interaction, your shaking of the hands, you're showing the love, you're showing the service, makes a difference in their lives. So I want to ask you, how are you doing? How are you doing? We're not talking about popularity. We are talking about likability, but we're not talking about popularity, because everybody that's smiling in your face and everybody that gives you a salute of the hand in patriotic service, everybody that acts like they're your homegirl and your homeboy, if you will, breaking it down to the most common denominator for everybody to be able to get that thing, it's not on your team. This is not the interaction is an equalizer. Come out for your high horse. Come off all your education and all your degrees, all your church revelation and your biblical revelation, you know, and your religious schedule, and interact with folk. Folk don't know you care till they care you know. See. Interaction on the ground. I used to tell my son with the last one, I used to tell him, I said, son, when you take the time, this is kind of like a simple interaction activity for kids particularly. I said, when you take the time to fold up your clothes and put them where they belong, it sends signals to your and messages to your brain, and it makes for a greater person to stop and to take the time to do something, to interact, to ask a parent, what do you need me to do for you today? To bring back the heartstrings of service. And then, you know, you're going to find your place as you rise from the wreckage and the rubbish. Everybody going to want you. Everybody gonna need you, it seems anyway. The perception is everybody wants help, but you can't. You know, one thing I'm gonna tell you something. I got to get ready to get out of here. Listen, one thing you're gonna realize as you interact, it's gonna pull on your heart. I really gotta go. One thing you're gonna learn, it's gonna pull on your heart. It's gonna pull on your emotions when you start interacting. I'm talking about for real now, not this mask pretentious crap that we master. Not that. But when we really interact with folk, listen to their stories, sit down and have coffee. I don't even drink coffee, but sit down and have some coffee. I'll have tea. If they insist that you eat something, but you're on a diet. You know what I'm saying? When you condescend from your high ideas and come down and sit down and interact, it's going to pull on your heart. But you got to remember one thing. One thing I want you to remember. Please remember this one thing. You cannot help everybody. The only reason why you're interacting is to bring about an equalizing situation in the psyche of your campaign. That's the only reason. Because you can't control everybody's outcome. You can't help everybody that whines. You can't change everybody's story. You can't give everybody a better future. But what you can do is do the best, be the best you that you can be. And then they might have a chance as they look at your life and become inspired. This is the coach. Follow me if you can.
You're listening to SIBN Radio on the Select USA TV iBroadcasting Network. You're listening to SIBN Radio.